What's up everybody, it's Adrian here and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about grades and whether they're important for an MBA student. In general, grades don't matter at all, however there might be some situations in which you might have to have top grades. And I will talk about this in this video, so stay tuned. Now, while in undergrad or your bachelor's, the grade point average or GPA was an important data point for your first job and also for admissions officials at graduate business schools. In an MBA program, grades become less important. Once you're in a top MBA program, you already went through a rigorous selection process, and that is what counts the most to potential employers. The fact that you were accepted to a top-notch program is already a door opener for most firms. In an MBA program or in any graduate degree program, you want to try out courses that interest you the most rather than taking easy A classes. And then of course there are clubs and organizations that you're going to participate in that become more important, especially since those clubs can be a gateway to a job. But it's really the fact that most employers don't care much about grades and prefer to look for soft skills like leadership and the ability to communicate. They're more focused on well-rounded people who fit with the culture of the firm. Those few firms that look for the GPA ask for a minimum of 3.0, and this should be doable with a relatively fair amount of effort, to be honest. I could only think of 3 reasons why a company might look at your grades. The first one could be commitment to quality, since basically everyone in an MBA program graduates with an MBA degree, with maybe a very few exceptions. This is probably the most important thing your MBA GPA says about you. Your commitment and quality to generate high quality results in any activity you undertake. That commitment and dedication to quality translates to the workplace better than almost any knowledge or skill you can possess. So this is the first one. The second one could be differentiation, meaning you standing out in the crowd. Not everyone cares about grades, but if you do and you get to be among the top tier of your program, that speaks for your personal drive and love of success. And the third one could be flexibility and adaptability. In every MBA program, projects and grades are based largely on group work and team performance, which teaches you collaboration with people from different backgrounds and experiences. It doesn't happen often that your grade will solely be based on individual work. It's more about your ability to create relationships, organize and work in teams. Hence, the grade achieved often reflect one's ability to build teams, contribute consistently in those teams, and manage workflow to produce great results. And then there are situations in which you should have an outstanding GPA. For example, if you want to do an exchange semester or exchange term at a partner school. At some schools, this opportunity is only merit-based. This means exchange semesters are allocated based on your grades. Either you have to have a certain GPA or there will be a bidding process for each different school depending on your grades. If you want to know more about an MBA exchange, please click right here. I did a video about that a while ago. If you're receiving a scholarship or intend to receive a scholarship in your second year of your MBA, in many cases, to qualify for merit-based scholarships, they also require a minimum GPA, generally between 3.0 and 3.5. Some might even prioritize students who have already established a business, showing their professional and academic progression, ambition, and responsibility. And finally, if your goal is to be among the top 5% or 10% of your class, this would be another reason to aim for a very high GPA. And here is a quick overview for some schools. At Harvard Business School, it's the Baker Scholars, and you have to be among the top 5% of your class. At Stanford, it's the R.J. Miller Scholars, and you have to be among the top 10% of the graduating class. At Chicago Booth, you graduate with high honors by being among the top 5% of the graduating class. Then there is honors, which are the next 15% of the graduating class. And after each quarter, if your GPA is above 3.5, you get on the Dean's Honor List. At Wharton, it's the Palmer Scholars, and you have to be among the top 5% of the graduating class. Next are honors, for which you have to be among the top 20% of the graduating class. At Columbia Business School, there is the Dean's Honor, where it's the top 25% graduating class, and there is the Dean's Honor plus distinction for the top 5% of graduating class. At Kellogg, you get your MBA with distinction. This means you have to be among the top 10% of graduating class, and there is the Dean's Honor List for which your GPA has to be 3.75 or above in a quarter. I could go on forever, but this gives you some idea of how things work at some schools. Generally, grading systems at top-tier schools vary widely, from traditional alphabet assessments at Wharton and Chicago Booth to the category 1, 2, 3, and 4 grades at Harvard Business School. Stanford has honors, high pass, pass, low pass, and unsatisfactory. Most students who graduate at the top of their classes include that honor on their LinkedIn profiles and resumes, so it still counts for something, and it makes a great impression overall. Even if you don't care about grades, all graduate students are expected to be in good academic standing in order to maintain enrollment in a master's program. And that good standing is always different at each school. Every school has a different definition, so please check the school's websites. Some people say B's get degrees. Maybe you've heard this expression somewhere before, but that's what it really is. You definitely have to put in some work. It's not gonna be smooth sailing, this I can tell you. Here is an anecdote. I lost one fellow classmate after my first year of my MBA because that person was struggling with his or her grades. At the end of the first year, the school decided to cut the individual loose, and that classmate was removed from the program. This is a very unfortunate situation, and it's not uncommon for it to happen. So keep this in mind. As long as you're somewhat average, you're going to be fine. To wrap this up, as you can see, whether grades are important depends on your circumstances. If you have to have a certain GPA for your scholarship, or if you want to go on an exchange to a partner school, or if you just want to be among the top tier of your class, then you should put in the extra work. Otherwise, you can get through relatively easily by doing your homework, paying attention in class, and contributing to discussions. And even if grades are important to you, but you fail getting those good grades, don't worry. Many programs don't even give out the GPA information anyway. So I hope this was a good overview and it gave you a good understanding of how grading at business school works. If that's the case, please go ahead and smash that like button down below. And on your way down there, feel free to leave a comment and subscribe to my channel to be updated on new content. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Adrian. Take care and see you next time.